Hello, my name is Russell Scott from scottcarvings.com, and today I'm going to start with one of my rough outs and just I'm going to start carving a little bit of the face and into the hands, maybe into the feet, but this is a video to just get you started on your rough outs that you purchase from me. General what I'm going to tell you is probably general for most all rough outs, but here we go. There's what we're going to do. I'm going to be working on the kind of the Supergirl here. Like I said, we're going to do face and hands, and then we'll just get started here. I do have my little go-by here picture. As I mentioned before, this is from daz3d.com. The best part about it is, well, number one, it is true two-dimensional, and number two is that it's free. Daz.com, daz3d.com. Now, I'm not selling it or getting any commissions for it. Wish I did, but that's what I use for all of my figures. That's what I use for the Supergirl. That's what I use for my mermaid. And that's very interesting is what I use for this rock here. That's really funny is I got this, sometimes you get some free stuff, and I got a free couch and ottoman. And you could take and you could shape that ottoman so anything, wide, tall, wide, thick, whatever, and that's what I did. This is like an ottoman that has been gargantuized, and then I put my figure right on top of it, and there you are. Same with this. Also, I have here's my little Annie Oakley. Let's move this out of the way here. And another one of the female figures is my cave woman here, 1 million BC. She's a little more healthier than the rest, I suppose. You can create rocks, standing on rocks. But I'm going to start in on the face. And whenever you get a rough out, is to take your pencil and to pencil around the creases, or where things like the arm's going to be right here, the hand's going to be right here. I want the hands come up. Don't mind this. There's a little anomaly there. And what we're going to do is after we pencil in, so the hair and the shoulder is. After we pencil in, we're going to use a V tool and cut this, and cut along and remove the pencil marks. This way we have I want to call it V tool stop cut. And I've mentioned before that people would take the knives and they would just start carving like this, and everything just disappears. Now, originally I had this as something different than Supergirl when it's on TV or Marvel Comics. I don't know if I can mention that. But this was I want to call it a Wonder Woman, not Wonder, was just a different character, and instead she had, I want to call them shorts, or what do you call them, those little panties, or I don't know, what do you call them? Swim trunk bottoms. And then the hair. It's going to come along here. Now, when we're going to cut this little nodule off here, I want you to be careful because the head, for some reason, it didn't come out. The rough out is a little, we'll have a need to have some of this. I'll show you. And then when you do the nose, just barely trim. I mean, it'll still look all right. I mean, the head is still all right. There's just right where I got their elbow. It should have been a little more, and I don't know what happened during the rough out process. But I'm not here to make excuses. Just work with it. And then there's where going to be this spot here. That's going to be the deepest point of the neck. The chin comes in, the neck goes back, and then it goes forward. And it starts right at the shoulder line. Let me adjust myself here. Like I'm kind of sitting at a bad angle. Now you can have, according to mine, I have this little buckle. And a belt that goes around. I think hers, I think this real Supergirl kind of has this V, kind of a V angle thing here, but I guess I don't know. I just want to make sure I'm not copying somebody completely. I had carved a sort of a superwoman or something before and put like a W on her chest there instead of the Supergirl emblem. And then there's where the feet. Now the boots are pretty, I don't know if you can find the boots on this, because the boots, center line of the leg, I go all the way around back, because it's really not that sharp. And there we are here. That's the same with all rough outs. You could do that with finding where the creases are and write them in, pencil them in, not write them in, pencil them in. Now I'm only going to be concerned more with the face and one of the hands for right now. So I'm going to, and usually when you do a figure like this, it's best to do the body, the figure, and get that first, and then the head and face would be relatively last. But in this case, I'm just moving forward for the sake of this video. I'm going to take my V, knives that are clanking on together. And this is going to be a relatively quick running video, fast-paced video, trying to fit everything in. And here, let's cut this down. Like I said, that's going to be the deepest point. And we can also adjust from there if it isn't. Because in her case, her her shoulders are a little higher because she's got that pose, or that power pose. So it might end up being a little lower, but we'll just stop there for now. All right, knife. Put her over there so she don't fly away. And I'm going to start shaping the face a little bit, just a little bit. Because I do, like I mentioned in my last video, is we like to start with the face and everything goes with it. You know, the eyes and the nose, but right now I just want it just a little extra clean here. Because the face, we'll be taking care of the hair a little more. Now here, I did a little, what I mentioned in the last video is the hair does not come straight down. It comes back a little bit and then it kind of hangs up on the shoulder. So I've done that a little bit. But the hair does not come straight down. So, back with the pencil. Where's the eye line? And the bottom of the nose. Now the mouth, I'm not going to worry about the mouth right now. I am going to chase my pencil and take my knife. I'm going to take a smaller knife here and I'm going to cut down on the nose. Before I cut down on the nose, see how close we are here. Yeah, the nose might be a little too high. Yeah, the nose is a little too high. I think we might have to... Well, no, because the nose is going to come at an angle, so... As I mentioned in my other video is that, see how the nose from the tip goes down? So that's what we're seeing here. So in other words, just don't, when you get to the tip of that nose, don't go straight down. Come down at an angle towards the mouth a little bit. There, that's a little better. Now with what I mentioned in my last video, we're going to just take the knife just a little bit, not too deep. We're just going to get it started so that it's going to be a little easier with the chisel. Oops, I think I went a little too high here. Kind of weird at this, I guess it's kind of weird at this angle, but I think we're still right. Yeah, like I said, I'm kind of carving at an angle here. Just taking little chips. That's one thing about rough out. I mean, most of it is done, and you just practically have to scrape it away. Now, what I mentioned before is this comes down to the eye line. This comes down to the eye line. And it is, right now, it feels uncomfortable. Like, now I cut into the hair a little bit, but that's okay. Like I mentioned before, hair is imperfect. Now what I want to do is I want to take it, I want to just do a little bit of cleaning before I, no, I don't. Let's get the eye sockets in. Like I mentioned before, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the number 9, and I'm going to go down, and I'm just going to shape the nose above the nostril. And then I'm going to come up like this, and then down, and then I'm going to come up and down. So, and I want to round out because I want to keep the nose and the eye socket rounded from each other. I'm going to come up, over, and down. And don't worry about the hair because the hair is going to come back. And And there's a basic eye socket there. Okay, like I said, with the nose above the nostrils, and we're going to come down, come up, like, and round and down at the same time. And then carve that out. And then clean it up a bit. I need my smaller number 9 here to get in there. Clean that out. That's pretty good for a start. One eyebrow a little higher than the other, but that's okay. We'll come back to that. Now I want to take my knife and start cleaning just a little bit. Like I said, we're going to shave. What I had mentioned before, showing my little drawing here, which should be online, is that I'm looking at this point here where the mouth is rounded and narrower, as you can see how narrow, if you're looking at this 45-degree angle, whereas there's the mouth, but then here's the head is bigger than the mouth. Everything just kind of comes to an angle, to a point down at the mouth. So that's what we're going to start in on doing that. At the same time, I'm going to cut in. I might as well do start the neck a little bit too, because that's a big chunk we got to get out of there. Like I mentioned, we're going to narrow the neck, and it's going to come up towards the ear. That's what we should do first before we... There we go. In. And there's still going to be much more shaping to do. The whole thing is to get started and get things blocked out. Now we'll be getting back to this thing here. We're just trying to get things started here. Now we want to, like I said, we want to getting back to smoothing the face. Just smooth it out. It's the magic of having rough out. All you have to do is just take out the marks from the bit there, router bit. There, that's what we want. Here, let me fix before like I said, it's going to be fast-paced. You can just stop it at any time. Because we want the chin to be back a bit. I'm going to just take a little bit off for the nose, because it's driving me nuts as far as just a little bit. Now the nose is going to get, everything's going to get a little deeper, so the nose is going to come back out again. Right now it's, well, it's not too shabby, but when we start getting deeper, but I want to at least get it started. We can always adjust as we go. Pencil, where's my, oh, where's my pencil? Whatever. See how far off I got on this. Oh, that's it, because we have more chin to go. Come on. Again, we could keep adjusting, but I want to get started on the mouth. The mouth is 1/3 down. Yeah, we can do that good from the eyeball. Yeah, I think we're doing pretty good. The eye is right here. Everything goes on the eye line. I did mention to put that back in there. See, that's my problem with carving and teaching, is that I've done this so many times. It's give me a knife and just get in there and, oh, wait a minute, you don't know what I'm talking about here. On the eye line. To the mouth. Eye line. To the mouth. That would be correct. Is that cockeyed? Everything is, I gotta straighten this out. I gotta look straight on it. See where, see, that's straight for me, and then under the camera here, there we go. Now we want to take our V tool. Where are you? There you are. Cut straight across. Oh yeah, we got a big chin there. But not only do we have a big chin, but this should be lower. Getting there. Then what I want to do before I do anything else is this part again, like I mentioned, make this a little more rounder. Under the chin, under the cheek. There we go. And again, her face does come to a point, the chin comes to a point, but again, we will work with that later. Okay, keep working. Now what we're going to do, get that bottom lip in, pencil. And like I said, I do not need to pencil this in because I'm just so used to just grab it and go. Let's make it a little wider here than our last time we did this. And here's where you need your number 9, tiny 9. And you go up. Nope, that's not going to fall off. And as I mentioned before, we do not want to pull on these. A little bit of microsurgery there. Careful. See how that looks. Getting there. Now I want it to round. Now I want to make one end come into the top of the lip. The other end to come in. I think we're losing it here. I think I need another scoop for under here. Just one more, just for the, there. There we go. That's a little better. And again, I'm going to use this knife here for a little while. Like I said, I want to make under the chin. Whoops. Hope I didn't take off too much. No, I don't think so. Under the cheek. I don't know, maybe I got dyslexia or something. I don't know. Now we're getting there. The profile looks good. Now what I want to do again with the, not again with this one, but take the bottom, upside down number 9 for the nostril. One of the only, I would say, sharp things of the woman's face, but I think this is still, might be too wide still. You know what, the nose, that's still wide. This again. Now we straighten it out later. Let's take that out of there. That's what I neglected last time. Take the chip out first before we do our little sharp cut underneath the nostril. Oh, careful, I pulled that off. Good. And of course, we can straighten out the nose later, but I always get carried away. And let's get back to the mouth. We're doing the mouth, not the nose. The nose is a little big, but here's what we want to do. Take the sharp, oops, get up there, just down there, so I can. We're going to go straight along, just skimming the nostril a little bit, straight down. Then you're going to, with a wide angle here, don't worry about chiseling in something right now because that'll go away after a while. But right now I want to get, we got to get this to get started. And then with the top of the upper lip, see, a little better, but we can get it. Now, if you could keep a cheek like this, that looks pretty good. If you're going to have her smile, you're going to cut just a little bit later on. If you want to keep that cheek, or you can keep it as is. And then while we're on this side, I want to take and scoop this and round this a little bit. And then I want to round this. I want to take that sharpness out of there. Now let's go on to the side. The nostril. Yeah, that's kind of a big nose. We'll have to, excuse me, straighten it out later. Very wide. What I mean by wide is at an angle like this, not straight down. Not a narrow, but a wide. Because this would actually be perfect if you want her to smile or laugh. But we can straighten it out later. And of course, we want to. The third cut is right under the lip like this, and it's a scooping thing because you want the mouth to be kind of a cone. Okay, and the upper lip, it's going to widen just a little bit. We will straighten it out later, but we want to make sure it's wide. Same with the bottom lip. Did I already round the bottom lip? I don't remember. Now it's a matter of shaping, because you're going to shape like this. Same with this side. You want to start cutting into that cheek. We're gonna clean that up pretty soon here. In fact, and then what did I do? I did this on this side, on the first side, but I need to do it on this side here, where just like a scoop. I think I did a little too much on this side, so I'm gonna go back. And don't worry about that neck. We'll get to that neck. And we'll also get to shaping. See, if I were to put it up close, would you see it better? Or is there too much shadow? Oh, can I bring the light back a little bit? This is where we are so far. Okay. This is what's going to help the nose a little bit, is, again, we talked about this part right here. See how this is rounded, and the nose is coming up. So we want to, this will bring the nose up a little bit. And again, you could use a chisel instead of a knife when I'm doing things, whatever is easiest for you. I better cut this back. She's a little too kissy here. Oh yeah, the eyes are going to go down quite a bit more, and I'm not worried about this hair here. I think we can always bring the hair back. In fact, we are going to bring the hair back. Same on this side. We want to round this. At the same time getting yeah. Now I'm a little concerned about the nose and the forehead, so let's bring the nose in and then the forehead up. Like I said, we want to be careful so that her head isn't going to be flat. There we go. How's that? A little bit of picking here and there. Now before I get to the eye socket, I do want to bring that hair out because it is really being a pain here. Pain in the tuchus here. We're going to bring it out. Now, as I mentioned before, the ear is about halfway to the back of the head, so the ear would have started about here. So you got all that to play with before you worry about any ear. But the long hair comes back and then it rests a little bit on the shoulder. Same with this side. It's going to come back. Now this thing I'm going a little farther back than I have with my go-by here. I think I had my go-by, I didn't. I got too lazy and did not bring that hair back. But it's up to you. A little bit back. Maybe this might be too far. But like I said, you've got so much to play. I'm going to start with my V tool to get this out here because, I mean, with my practice stick, I don't care too much about cutting into the wood, cutting into the face, you know. Just count it as a whoops-a-daisy, but here you want it to be as smooth as possible. Oh, that kind of didn't work out right here. I need my bigger knife. knife here. Where's my bigger knife? And I'm going to come again with a stop cut. Now you could come straight down, be careful, or you can take this off in pieces. But if I go straight down and I accidentally cut into the face, ooh, I just cut into the neck there. Then it's only, then you can't see it because it's right on the hairline. A little better. We can always cut that back. Itch the head there. Okay, now I'll come back here and stop cut. What I always tell my students, especially my beginning students, is that when you cut with a purpose. In other words, you cut, you're going to start and you're going to stop. Just don't put the knife in and just pull as hard as you can in hopes that whatever you got is going to come out. I'm going to cut this right here so I can get this out of here. So I stop right at the neck. I'm just not pushing. I just stop. Getting close to the head. Stop. Do a little bit of cleaning before we move on. Okay, what I want to do now, I mentioned on my other video, is right at the eye line here. We're gonna take your carving from straight up is 0. This is a 90 degree angle. We want to go at a 45 degree angle like this, and we want to cut this. A lot of the stuff that we did on the practice stick is coming here as well, because there's plenty of wood on some stuff, and I don't know what happened. I mean, it's still going to be all right in the long run. Wish there was more room. All right. Now I want to take my chisel again. Now take the larger one and just come back and do again what I did with the last time I chiseled, with what I just did with the knife. Smooth that out. Let's see which way is better to cut this way. Okay. I line back in. Like I said, we probably could go a little deeper, but or a little cleaner. That's what I want to do here. Is this has got to come deep here, deep here. But we still want to maintain the smoothness between the eye socket and the bridge of the nose. I would say the roundness. I don't know if that's the best way to put it. Because the nose we still got to work with here. I'm going to take my knife and just straighten out the nose a little bit. It's just we want the nose wide yet not. This is a wider cut, so the nose isn't going straight down. It's more wide from the tip down. Nostrils are still a little too big. I just trim this. I wonder if that'll help. We'll come back to it. And then we need to cut this about a 30-degree angle this way. Degree angle this way. Again, that needs some adjustment. But at least we're getting there. Let's look underneath here, and I'm going to take a look here. And now I want to get to the neck a little more here. Because even when you look underneath there, the neck is still a little, like I said, you want to consider going to the ear, even though the ear is not there. I mean, we are getting there. Still. And we're shaping. We're still shaping the neck. We can still take some of this chin off here. Not much. And it's getting there. It's getting down to a matter of shaping. And we want this thing to come to a better point. Now another thing we want to do is, like we did on the side of the eye, turn the, carving at about a 45-degree angle and just flatten the chin out a little bit. And there goes some of that sharpness. Just a little bit. Want a little bit of a scoop here. There we go. The mouth is getting a little smaller. A little bit of scoop right here. Well, I gotta clean this. I'm just cleaning this. I don't know if you need that, but now it's just a matter of keep adjusting and adjusting. How much of that do I want to take out? Now, how wide, I'm curious how wide is the neck according to my go-by drawing here. Let me straighten this out first. Kind of add in more depth and more shadow. Because I think the neck is still a little wide. I mean, it's still a little bumpy too, like a, I don't know what's a good analogy on it. Rubbernecking. I want to bring this up just a little bit. Little, not too much because she's got her cape in there. Oops, forgot I brought the camera down. Because it really now is getting to be just a bit of adjusting here and there. What I want to do is I do want to get to the eye. And this is going to be kind of difficult to do because how tiny the eye is. let's finish the neck here. And the same here, you could trim some of this hair back too, or out rather. Get out of there. Oh, I don't have my brush. Oh, I do have my brush handy here. It's always best to have a brush to clean. In fact, that's what I'll do right after I get done with this. Okay, the neck looks pretty good when you look at it this way. You know, here, I'm going to take my brush. There's little brushes here, too. I'll take some of the stuff out of there. Okay, this way, I think, wait, if I come up this way a little bit, because of the light here, I think I'm... Oops! My light just came apart here. Hold on. Get back in there. I mean, you should not have to, through me having to go through all of this. Should have been better prepared. Anyways, the neck, this way it looks pretty good, but this way I think could stand to come back. Remember, you got to slice and not just push. That's what I'm doing wrong. There we go. There's the slice. Again, we're just getting down to adjustments. I've said that a million times, I guess. The chin, I think the chin is a little too far out, just a little too chinny there. And rounding at the same time. Wait. Around this a little bit. A little bit. But she does have a prideful look. There's still some more. And I'm just coming back and forth and back and forth. Back and forth. Okay, I just want to get things prepared here for the eye. Like I said, I'm going to try one eye, or I can do both eyes, but it is going to be a bit difficult because there's a sliver in there. Oh, how'd that get in there? Is that a sliver too? You come at this angle, everything's different. More even. All right, let's round things out a little bit here. again. Now, how wide is the face? How does it look? According to this, yeah, it might be right on that way. A little too much chin. Well, too much nose too. But I'm going to keep it that way. Now we're going to make our little measurements. Now the eyes on this are a little wider than normal. Than a normal eye. This is kind of like it's more of a caricature. And this eye is more normal. This is more of a normal eye. I'll let you look at that if you want. This kind of a angle. So we did measure from here to here. A little more. Okay. So we got from here to here. Is everybody still in the camera? I still got the light. Just bring the light just a little bit this way. There. Okay. You know, I need to put my visor on now. Visor tight. Oh, there goes that. That was my sharpening block there, so. Oh, there we go. There we go. Now I see everything that's wrong with it. Oh boy, maybe I should have worn this before. Well, no, it's. We'll clean it up a little later here. Okay, now let's put these lines in. Oops. I'll just put them in as best I can here. Here and here. Here to here. Here to here. No, that's a little too wide. No, that probably was about wide enough. All right. So, like I said in my other video, this, if you draw a straight line across here, this part of the eye is down, this part of the eye is up. So we'll start here, and then it's going to kind of straighten there, and it's going to kind of come down a little bit, and then straight till it comes down here. And that's why it is difficult to do this on camera so tiny. Oops. Oh, yeah, let's hope for the best. I think that, oh, that eye is a little too high. Yeah, this eye is a little too high. Okay, like I mentioned, we'll start with the left eye here. And we're going to go straight down, because this is up, and then it's going to come down here. It's high. It's going to come around, and it's going to go down. My thumb in the way. Same here. It's going to end kind of high. Here it's low, straight, and then come back high. Oops. High again. Now I'm going to cut down, straight down, I think that'll be all right. Hope it'll be all right. Straight down. Turn it around. Because this is on the high above. This low. Now I hope this is going to come out because little chips. Little chips. Now we're going to start at the bottom and cut up, rounding the eye. And then we're going to come from the top, go down, rounding where the bottom is lower than the top. I think I need to round a little more, but it's best to get on the other side and see how that's going to look. Just a little. Okay, start from the bottom, going up. From the top, going down. Now I think the eyes are maybe a little crooked. Are they okay or crooked? A little bit. I think we might be alright. I think if I were to widen this just a little bit. That's what I mentioned about you want to kind of start with a smaller eye. So when you adjust, well, it's not too bad. Now I want to cut out, smooth it out, and then cutting out some of the pencil marks. Get those pencil marks out of there and any other smoothing that needs to be done. Keep your tip of your knife sharp. Now again, this is we're getting back to adjusting this and adjusting that, adjusting the eyeballs. Where's my brush? See if this will help some. Then a small V-tool, tiny V-tool, smallest one you got. Where are you? Uh-oh. Oh, here. And just above the eye, you put in just a nice small cut. That might have been, ooh, that might be too big. Yeah, this one is best. That's the way you want it. This one got a little too wide here. I think we can make some adjustments for that. So final adjustments. I mean, I probably will keep making more adjustments, but it's at least this gets you in the ballpark where you can adjust from here to there. The nostril, like I said, the nose is a little too big. Like I said, I can do this later. Line the cheeks here. Cleaning the neck. Cleaning the mouth. Well, that's what I'm gonna leave here. Is it just now it's a matter of trimming and cleaning and shaping, and one of the things I wanted to show after I made a sharp edge there, I got to clean that, is look at this, the 45-degree angle here, how the shape of the face is that. So if I go 45 degree, is that all right? Now this part, so I got to do it to the camera here. This part is okay. There's that dimple, but I think I may need some more sharpness here. Oops, did I get into the mouth on that last hit? That's a little better. And again, as I said, it's getting to adjusting and smoothing, and of course I want to leave you with this as the best I got here. The neck needs more adjusting, but like I said, I'm going to leave that here. Not bad. Pretty good. Maybe a little nuts. The thing I've always had troubles with before, but it looks pretty good now, is I always get too much kissy face. And that's where I'm going to leave the face. Now I'm going to go to the hands. But right now, hasta la vista. There's the face.